Hey everyone, and welcome to my channel, or welcome if you're new. Hi, I'm Mand. So I know the last couple of videos, to be honest, most recently I have been behind the camera. So as you can see, today is actually VR to Spirited Stardust 11, and I must actually watch her video. I actually seen the tag through Sylvie's video, who runs our whose channel name is Tarot Magpie, and she has the most adorable channel. I absolutely love it. So if you love all things like tarot, just like myself, go check out Sylvie's videos. It's amazing. So let's get into the tag. But before we start, let's get all the kind of usual. If you haven't subscribed already, do hit the subscribe button. I cover like tarot oracle deck like walkthroughs and reviews, and you know how I work with them pairings and things like that. So if that's your jam, hit the subscribe. I also do sometimes crafty bits here, things on like spirituality with kind of witchy elements thrown into the mix. So if that's your jam and you kind of like that chit chatty stuff, hit the subscribe button. I'd love to have you part of the family. Also like the video if you have enjoyed the video, and hit the bell so you'll be notified when I upload. So without further ado, let's get into this VR, which is a mid-year tarot check-in. Now I have some oracle decks thrown into the mix as well because of the person that I am. I do love oracle decks as well. So grab a snack, grab a drink. This could be a long one because it's been a while since I've sat down and chatted, to be honest, because for those of you that are new, I got engaged last month. At the rate we're going, it's nearly August, so it'll be 2 months ago, and we just had our engagement party and it has been absolutely crazy. My recording schedule has been all over the place, my upload schedule has been every which way. So look, I'm hoping now that it's kind of quieter that I can get back into a normal routine. All going well. So that's about as much of an update as I have without boring the bones off you. I'm going to get into the VR. I thought this was so fun. I absolutely loved Sylvie's video, and I'm definitely going to watch Spirited Stardust 11's one as well. And yeah, so they'll be able to keep me company when I'm crafting later on. So let's get into the VR. First question in this mid-year tarot check-in, which is actually so fun. I love this idea. It's a great thing to watch back on in the years to come and things like that to see what decks you worked with and whatnot. So it is your favorite deck you've used so far in 2023. I have many. I have a few actually that I've really enjoyed working with. I try to rotate my decks every week. Sometimes I get caught up in some decks and I work with them for several weeks before I change. But the one that I have, I don't want to say is a favorite. It is, but I have many different favorite decks for different reasons. Is the Solitary Witch Oracle by Lucy Cavendish. And now I have done a walkthrough of this deck. Oh my god. I swear, the minute I get on camera, I feel like I'm talking a million miles an hour. I'm trying to make sure my Irish accent isn't too thick, because I know sometimes we can be hard to understand, but I'm also aware that we talk super fast as well. So this has been one of my favorite decks. I said I'd limit myself to the one, and I adore this deck. I must just check to make sure that there's no glare. Okay, we're good. I love this deck. The artwork is fab on this, and it is by Lady Victoria. And of course, Lucy Cavendish's guidebooks are just phenomenal. There's like plenty of juicy information if you like to kind of deep dive, but the imagery in this you can get so lost in. I love the way these little, I want to say borders, excuse me, are like all different colors. I love the keywords, and there's numbers too if you like incorporating numbers into your readings and things like that. But I really love the art on it. Words, hello, come back. Because it kind of gives me, like, to some extent, canvas vibes, as in these are like little canvases that have been painted on. Each one of them has been like hand painted by, you know, this deck is, every one of them has been, you know, handcrafted. Even though, you know, it's a mass market. And I have to say, like, I love Blue Angel. It is a Blue Angel one, yeah. I love their cardstock. It is something out of this world. But the only thing is the size. The size is like, I don't have massive hands by no means. Not the smallest, but definitely not the biggest of hands. But I've been really, really enjoying this deck. There's not much for me to say about this. The art really speaks for itself. The guidebook speaks for itself. There's depth, but if you just want to do one card, you can. If you want to do like a whole spread, you can. I don't want to say just 3 cards, because some people might do 6, 9, 12, whatever is the case, because everybody's different. Now, the only thing is you probably need a bit more space because of the size of the deck. But for the most part, like, look at that. And I mean, the detail in it is just, oh, it's so pretty. It's so, so pretty. So this has definitely been one of my favorite decks that I've been working with this year. And I always look forward to bringing this out and working with it. The next question on this list is a new deck that came into your collection this year. And that would be Ghost and Spirits Tarot. Now, this isn't a new deck. This is by Lisa Hunt, and it's a US game publication. This was brought out in 2011. But this is new to me. I'm not here for the talk box, but that's okay. That's fine. You know, you could just get a bag for it, really. So that is the back with the little ghosties. It's so cute. It really is. And I like the US game cards, actually. These ones, anyway. They shuffle like so nice. Honestly, they just shuffle so good. But I do see what people mean. What people mean when they say like the backs don't match the front, because we have like white, and I mean bright white, and then kind of like parchment color. I mean, I can see the issue, but I absolutely adore this deck. I was on the fence for like the longest time. And I don't know why, because this is such a gorgeous, gorgeous deck. I love the imagery. I love the little white guidebook. Please don't overlook that if you do get this. It has lovely little chunks of information, just enough to kind of kickstart that intuition of yours, because I read very intuitively, while also making sure that I respect the actual meanings of the tarot cards too. But if you're watching this, Lisa Hunt, if you're thinking about bringing out a bigger guidebook for this, please do, because I would read this. I would love to know like more. I want to know more about this deck. Like, I want to sit down and have a chat with this deck. So I'm definitely going to have to do my own kind of deep dive. Like, look at them. And they're quite in depth. So yes, I know the pictures are kind of small, but there's so much information. Oh, that's the extra card that's in it. There is so much in these pictures. It genuinely, I mean, just to show you, if you were to do a 3 card, I mean, that is just, I just love it. I really do love it. So I'm glad I picked it up. I'm glad when I got the opportunity to pick this up that I actually did. So that is the Ghosts and Spirits Tarot. It is my most, well, it's not my most recent deck, because I'll show you that in the next clip. I'm so excited for this one. So this is my most anticipated deck released this year. And I know Sylvie mentioned it on hers, and she actually cancelled her pre-order, which I can totally understand. I totally get why one might want to cancel, but I didn't pre-order this. I was looking everywhere to see where I could get it at a reasonable price, because Amazon was costing me way too much. But that is This is Secrets of Witch's Garden, but it's the Tarot of the Witch's Garden. Now, the book is like, or the book, the deck is like, the box is far too big for me to fit into this. But this is by Sasha Graham, and the art is by Natasha Ilionek. I hope I pronounced that right. If not, apologies. I'm working with this deck currently. Oh my god, I was so excited for this deck. It's one of these decks I've been so anticipating, so looking forward to coming out. There's actually a few more. I'm really, an honorable mention, I'm really looking forward to the Forhoxa Tarot by MJ. I always say her name differently to the rest of you. We say Cullinan, but I think you say Cullinan. I hope I pronounced that right. Because again, here in Ireland, the way her name is spelled, it's Cullinan here. I've done this several times. Anyway, Tarot of the Witch's Garden. You guys, this is so anticipated. I couldn't wait to get it. Now mine has, and I mentioned this in my unboxing, the strangest bow ever on it. It came like that. So there's like, I don't know, can you see it on the camera? I'm hoping you can. It's very annoying, and I'm hoping that maybe when I'm done working with it, I might just set it flat on the table and just kind of set some books on it. But this is so pretty. I love the linen feel to it. I really do. It's giving me kind of Tarot of the Divine. Isn't that what it's called? The one by Yoshi Yoshitana. That one. Love the cardstock on that. But this deck was my most anticipated deck, for sure. There are a few more. I mean, look, when you become a collector, you anticipate a lot of different decks. But the release date on this is very annoying, because, you know, it was this date and then it changed, and then you see, because I have to follow the UK release date, because obviously it released earlier in the US. So I was trying to not watch too many walkthroughs. I might have flicked through some, but nothing too in-depth, because I wanted to savor that for myself. I am loving working with this deck. I absolutely adore the art style. I just love the way everything is depicted. I love that kind of pagan feel in it as well. The fairy, the elementals, the animals incorporated in here as well. So there's just a lot in this deck that I'm truly enjoying. I love how the aces kind of have the same hand, and there's so much to it. There really is so much to it. The guidebook is quite good as well. I haven't fully read through it as of yet. I have, like I said, it's been just a busy month, so I have lots going on, but I really love just that magical, whimsical, kind of earthy feel, but it really incorporates all the elements so well together. So I definitely think it's worth the hype personally myself, but again, that's just my opinion, okay? You'll know when you watch walkthroughs whether this is kind of the deck for you or not. So yeah, this is my most anticipated deck, and I'm so glad that I have it. Biggest disappointment. Now, I don't have a deck that has like super disappointed me this year. I have to say I'm very lucky. So what I will do is I will share the one that kind of has disappointed me overall. And we all know which one that is if you've been watching me. It's the Alice in Wonderland Tarot deck by Insight Editions, isn't it? Oh, this deck. Oh, I wanted to love this deck. I really did. I was so excited when it came in, and you can tell when you watch my walkthrough, I was getting more, and this is still in order, okay? I haven't looked at this deck, I'll be brutally honest, since I did that walkthrough, solely for the reason being is it annoyed me so much. I was looking so forward to getting this deck, working with it, but they really did us bad with the minor arcana. It just excuse me, was so annoying. And that's not to bash on the deck or nothing like that. If you love it, oh my god, I'm genuinely so happy and I'm envious of you. But I just, okay, first of all, the majors, I love the majors. I don't hate them. I think they're fab. You know, maybe you can make this into a majors only deck. I don't know. I don't want to because the whole deck is there. Okay, so like majors, fine. Don't mind it. They're grand. It's the minute you move on to the pips, it starts grating my nerves. It's just, like, I know Inside Editions are bringing out lots of new decks, okay? But there's just nothing as such. I feel it's so pippy. This is very, very pip style. Okay, whereas like the Nightmare Before Christmas has like a little bit more, and I believe the Disney Villains one as well. I know Inside Editions have like far more, but I mean, no. Just no. And then we have like the Hedgehogs. Oh my god, this one. This suit annoyed me so much, and I will show you why it annoyed me so much. I don't know, okay, well maybe I don't know why, really. Do I need to point it out? I mean, to be fair, at least the other ones, okay, no, looking at them, they don't vary either. It's just, it annoyed me, and the more I look at this, the more it's annoying me. I shouldn't, but I'm so disappointed because I wanted to love this deck. I so wanted to love this deck. And I just can't. I can't. I'm so disappointed, and I'm going to stop talking about it now because I'm going to get annoyed all over again. I haven't seen anybody talk about this, to be honest with you. And the reason I do these videos is so that, you know, you're not wasting money either, like me. That's what I did. I feel like in that sense, I did. I kind of wasted my money with this deck. I should have just held off and seen more walkthroughs, to be brutally honest. But it's a very important lesson learned. So it is. Now, on to lighter, happier and brighter times. The next one is biggest surprise. Okay, this is actually a deck from last year, and it was one that I was like, I don't know whether I'm going to love this or not, but I was going to try it. And of course, this spiraled me into loving all her decks, and that's MJ. I'm just going to leave it at that. I think he could say Cullinan. I think that's how you pronounce it. Right, lads. I'm just going to say MJ, please, because I feel like I'm going to say it wrong. I know Sylvie showed the Grim Malkin cats. I can't even talk. I love that deck. But it wasn't a surprise to me that I love that deck because I love cats. Okay, I absolutely adore cats. I have 2 cats. And if I had it my way, I would probably have like many, many more. But this one was one that actually surprised me, and I know this one's from last year, but I do want to add it in all the same because I wasn't sure. This is not an I wasn't sure whether this was a deck that I was actually going to love because, and I'll tell you why. I love animals, right? I absolutely adore animals, but I don't necessarily feel drawn to them in readings, right? In my cards. I'm like, no, I don't know if I can really kind of relate to that in that sense, which is ridiculous because, again, I love animals. I love this 2 of Cups. Because my Oma, my grandmother, she loves elephants, so I just have like a soft spot for elephants. It always reminds me of her, you know, that kind of way. Not that she's not gone, you guys. It's just when I see elephants, I always think of her. I'm just like, oh, I'd love that. And I'm pretty sure there's a donkey card here as well, and everybody knows my love of donkeys. I love them. But yeah, this one really, really surprised me because I was like, I'm not really sure. And then, oh my God, when I say I did a reading when I first got this deck, I've done several readings of this after. When I say to you, this kicked my ass, but in the nicest way in one sense, like it did. It just was like, yeah, this is what's happening, this is what's going on, and you know, cop on kind of a thing. I love it. I love this deck. It definitely shook me to the core, and I'm like, oh wow, this is far more powerful than I'm actually giving it credit. I love the artwork to this. I don't have her Crow Tarot. I'm looking forward to getting her for Haxa Tarot, and I've seen a lot of people on about the Raven's Dream Tarot. I'm not sure if I'm going to get that because what would it be in indie? I don't have a problem with indie decks, but it's the cost of customs here. It's just an absolute pain. So this is the Guardian of the Night Tarot. The next question, and you can already see, is deck crush. And I love the pastoral. I mean, I think I've harped on about this quite a lot actually this year as well. I know a lot of people don't like the whole landscape view. This is the guidebook. I love the guidebook. I'll never stop recommending this guidebook. I love the backs. This deck I crush on. I love the artwork. I absolutely adore the artwork. This is another deck that I would happily live in. This has just... honestly, this is kind of like where I would envision myself kind of living the life that I would want to live, or I do want to live. I'd love to be able to spend my time in the forest and foraging and just kind of, you know, off-grid living in one sense, really. There's just something so... I know they're very hard to show. There's something very therapeutic and tranquil about that. Like, I love this Two of Cups. Can you tell the Two of Cups is one of my favorites? That and the High Priestess. And the Lovers. This is giving me The Notebook. I used to love that movie. If I watched it now, I'd be like, oh, stop. But yeah, this is my deck crush. I love the animals. I love the people in it. I just love everything about this. I feel like I just got lost in this landscape. I could visualize myself being in this landscape. I mean, this is literally me tending to tomatoes for everyone else because I don't like tomatoes, and Frankie sitting up beside me. Okay, this is me if I dyed my hair red. Look, I just love that donkey. I just love donkeys. They're so cute. I love the animals in it. Yeah. I'm not going to harp on about it anymore. You know how much I love this deck. Is it a one for like huge spreads? Probably not, because you kind of have to overlap it. But I mean, it's not, to me, it's not a big deal. I mean, you could do it that way. But again, it doesn't bother me. I absolutely adore it. Let me know. Do you love the Pastoral Tarot as well? So the next one that we're onto is a deck that made me cry. And that is actually the Rose Oracle by Rebecca Campbell. And the artwork is by Katie Louise. This deck, okay, I tend to have sometimes... oh, sorry. This is the back. It's so cute. It's so pink. It's so pretty. It kind of... you know, you think it has like glitter here. I sometimes have these love-hate relationships with these decks, and yet I still get them. This deck, oh wow, is all I can say is oh wow. It hits on a level for me personally. Now I know not a lot of people are going to like this kind of deck because it's very pastel. It's very, to be fair, very divine feminine. It is, okay? There's nothing wrong with that. I hope I'm not too far up now. There is something, again, like this soul recognition. This goes so much deeper than just being oracle decks. And that's just personally me, and the how it has been used and utilized in my own practice. Excuse me. And the messages that have come true for me. There's one here. Oh, I don't know if I can find the card. Like this one, Codes of the Seeds. Now, to be honest, the keywords, I can take them or leave them. It's the artwork. This was, I know not a lot of people aren't into that whole starseed thing. I'm not really sure. I have many like mixed opinions about it. And I know not many. I don't want to say not many, but like not everybody is into that, and that's totally fine, because I know there's like a really woo-woo side to spirituality as well, and that kind of stuff. But it was one about the great grandmothers or grandmothers or something like that. I wish I could find it. Like there, the grandmothers, and I truly felt this on such a deep, and I think there's one as well, and it's the grandmother or the great mother or something like that. Yeah, the great mother. These two cards came up quite a lot for me this year, and I don't know how to explain this because at the same time, you know, these are kind of personal practices and things like that, but my grandmother and then my great grandmothers are very, very important figures in my life, because I was very, very privileged to know two of my great grandmothers, but I knew my mom's grandmother, so you know, we had 4 generations at one point, so there's that deep rooted love, and there's just a lot to it without getting too emotional and stuff like that. So again, this is definitely a deck that made me cry, because it really, to me, brought a sense of her being around more and kind of connecting with her energy more. So that's why this deck like really made me cry, because it made me so much more aware of her presence as well this year. And a deck that made me happy, that is the Wizard's Tarot by Paper de Lune. Now, it's not the reason it made me the reason isn't that it made me happy because, you know, of the readings, because I haven't actually used it in readings as of yet. I know, right? This made me so happy because, one, it was a birthday gift, and 2, I love Harry Potter. Okay, this brings me back literally to being a child, to just falling into that world of Hogwarts and the wizarding world, and just falling in love with the characters, and disliking some characters too. But there was just something about being part of the Harry Potter world just makes me so happy. It feels like a comfy blanket. It feels so comforting, so welcoming, and like you just want to be part of that world. That's this deck just makes me so happy. I remember reading these books as a child and truly loving them, and watching the movies, and I've watched the movies so many times. Like, I can quote the first one so much. It's ridiculous. Like, honestly, and I love watching the TikToks on just people taking off the different scenes, especially in the first one. It's so funny. It's so funny. I love the one, I'm Hermione Granger and you are, like, I just love it. I just love their accents, and it's so cute, and I just cringed myself there, but listen, save space here or not. It's just so cute, and I love Molly Weasley. This deck just makes me so happy. It really does. And I do wish there was a guidebook with it, but you could pretty much figure it out anyway. You guys are going to know what one I've picked for my most beautiful deck this year. I do have a second one, but it's on the way, and I don't have it yet. But I'm nearly 99% sure that it is beautiful. But I am, of course, going to say Tarot of the Witch's Garden is my most beautiful deck that has come into my collection this year. I just love the palette color. I love this. I love this. I'm so sorry, you can hear the shaking, my shelf shaking there. I just love this. It is truly stunning. I do have some other decks that are gorgeous decks, but it's not something that I have brought in this year. But this is definitely one of my most beautiful decks that I have, excuse me, that I've gotten this year. Let's end it on a little happy note. There we go. And the very last question is, what deck do you want by the end of the year? And that is like a super good question. After watching Sylvie's video, I really love that Aphrodite Tarot. That is gorgeous, but you know, that probably won't be coming into my collection. But a deck that, you know, I really want by the end of the year. I suppose the Forhoxa one I'm really looking forward to. I'd really like to get my hands on that one. But as for the rest, I'm not really sure. There's decks that I've been kind of keeping an eye on. I'd really like to get my hands on the Boo Oracle as well to go with my Boo Tarot. But I think that's more out of, I just want them to pair more so than like, would I work with it? But I'm trying to think what other decks. There isn't any decks as of late that have really caught my eye and that I've been really keeping an eye on since Book Depository kind of left. I've been, I suppose it's not lost my interest, but kind of just not as focused on getting every pre-order that comes out. I don't need to pre-order every deck. But yeah, I can't really answer that one because I was really excited for the Tower of the Witch's Garden and I have that, so I'm kind of content with that, and I have 2 other decks that are on their way. But yeah, that's, as for that, I'm not really sure. Okay, so I'm sure this video is going to be a million miles long. I'm going to wrap it up now and go. Thank you so much for watching. If you've reached the end of this video, please let me know which deck was your favorite. Have you any anticipated decks for the rest of the year or for the end of the year? Please let me know. You know, I love looking at new decks. I just haven't had time lately, I suppose, in one sense. And like I said, like with Book Depository being gone. But anyway, you guys, before I start coughing because I've been talking so much and haven't drank enough, I'm going to love you and leave you. I hope you have a wonderful day wherever you are in the world. And I hope you have a wonderful day, afternoon, evening, whatever time you're watching this. And I will see you all in the next video. Bye, guys.